What's going on, guys? Oh, holy shit. Hang on. I gotta fix this first, then we can talk. 1 second. Whew, that is so much better. Okay, so what's going on, guys? If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Jared Hamilton. It's great to meet you if we haven't already yet. So what I wanted to do with this video today is basically kind of give you an update on stuff, just talk for a minute, tell you some of the stuff that's going on with me that I'm working on right now, and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to do, in 2020, I'm trying to do more vloggy-esque videos. So still keeping with like my normal content where it's like solve this problem, solve this problem, solve this problem. But I also wanted to just open up my life a little bit more, show more day in the life in just kind of almost more of a vloggy kind of setting. So it's kind of awkward, to be honest, just because like part of my go-to thinking is like, you know, and it's not accurate, it's not right, but like, that's why like I'm so easy to, in terms of my content, I want to put out like solving problems and fixing this and fixing this and fixing this. But, you know, part of me is like, well, just updating everybody on my life and what I've got going on. Like it's, you know, part of my thinking is like, oh, no one cares, it's not gonna matter, it's not helping people, but when in reality, none of that's true. So something that I'm working on. So touching on a few things in this video, I want to talk about update on my knee. A lot of you guys have been asking about the deal with my knee. I want to talk to you about 75 hard, what that is and what I'm going to be doing and all this stuff. And then also kind of what my focus is going into 2020, as far as kind of going into all this. So update on my knee. A lot of you guys have been asking about it. So a lot of you guys follow me on Instagram, and you saw my Instagram story. For those of you who don't know, let's see, not last Friday, but the Friday prior, I hurt my knee really bad. So if you guys don't know, one of my hobbies is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I love it. I've dove all into it, head first in it. I go to practice like 3 days a week. I've already competed and all this stuff. Like I love it. It's such an amazing outlet for me. But there's still growth attached. So it's not just like a low-key hobby of like just like walking my dog, where it's just like walking my dog, but with Jiu-Jitsu, one of the reasons I love it so much is I can be competitive with it. I can fail, and there's growth attached to it. You know, going through the ranks and getting better and worse and all this stuff. So, but what happened was I was actually on a pretty big test. So in Jiu-Jitsu, how it works is each belt takes longer to go through. Okay. You know, so like the first milestone belt in Jiu-Jitsu is the blue belt. And I was on what they call my blue belt pre-test. So basically it's all the people that are like getting ready to get promoted to blue belt, at the school I train at, they basically take everybody and put them through this crazy 2.5, 3 hour test, essentially just everything from a knowledge side of stuff. So I have like this giant prerequisite list that I have to know, where they just want to see me put reps in on techniques to see from the technical side. But then they also want me to teach it to everybody. That way from a, you know, what, why, how, really understanding the fundamentals of each move from that side. But then it's also me getting the fuck beat out of me for like 3 hours by all these upper ranks. So it's very multifaceted. And then you're super tired and just getting the snot beat out of you. So there's like the mental hard aspect of it too. But what happened was I was about, I don't know, probably 2 hours in, 2.5 hours in, and I was rolling with an upper rank. I was rolling with a brown belt, and freak accident happened, and my heel got shoved like into my butt. Like right now I'm sitting on my left heel. It's my right heel got shoved into my butt, and my knee just went and it basically popped out. I straightened my leg, it popped back in, and like an idiot, I kept rolling. And then what happened after that, it did it again. It did it a second time, but it never went back, so to speak. So it was awkward, it was embarrassing. My wife, Shelby, had to come get me. I couldn't drive. My buddies had to carry me out to my car and all that kind of stuff. So fast forward, I went to the ortho the next day. They think my meniscus is torn. They ordered me an MRI. I had that last week. I met with the ortho to go, a different ortho doctor or a sports med doctor to go over my MRI with me. And turns out my meniscus isn't torn. Part of it, I guess, is stretched, how he puts it. Either way, an issue with my body, I guess, is the doctor basically said I've got super hypermobile joints. So everything on me is always been like pretty hypermobile. Like my fingers are like really flexible. My shoulders are super flexible. My hips, all my joints are so flexible and mobile to like a fault where it's causing issues. So what happens is I just got to be more careful now. So I'm more susceptible to stuff like that happening, like my knee slipping and coming out and whatnot, just because my joints are loose. So they talk about doing surgery. They talk about going in there and tightening my knee up. But right now, like within a few days, I was back to like 100%. So I'm going to hold off on surgery for right now, just because I feel good. And just in my gut, I just don't feel like I really need surgery right now. So that's what I'm doing. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. But that's kind of what's going on with my knee. So the past couple weeks, I haven't been able to really do anything. The past couple weeks, I haven't been able to do my normal workouts. I haven't been able to do jujitsu. But this is what happens. Tying this into your stuff is understand that there's going to be speed bumps. And what's a car do when it goes over a speed bump? It doesn't stop, but it doesn't fly over them. It slows down, goes boom, 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 and you keep going. And that's what's happening with my stuff. So we all have speed bumps that happen in our lives with our goals. But a lot of people take those speed bumps as like potholes that blow out their car tire. You know what I mean? And that's not how you should view this. Anything like this that happens is just a speed bump. I was just talking to a coaching client of mine yesterday who is going through she's been doing awesome since like October. And she went through a really hard breakup and like had a couple of off days, like she binged and getting her workouts in and that kind of stuff. But we hopped on the phone and talked through it. And that for her, that was a speed bump. That didn't just derail her and she's done forever and lost all her progress. It's like, no, it was a speed bump and then she's getting right back on track. It's the same kind of thing with what I went through the past couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. Between my injuries and stuff, things have been a little bit rocky. So, but it's just part of the game. It could be a lot worse. And but now things are on the up and up and I'm getting better and I'm gonna get right back into things. So that's kind of the update on my knee. So you'll see me back in jujitsu, back into training and whatnot. So now I wanna talk about 75 hard. So a lot of you guys don't know this about may not know what it is or how it works. And a lot of you guys don't know, I already actually went through what's called 75 hard once, but I didn't tell anybody. Because here's the thing, I'm avidly against fitness challenges. You guys know that, like 30 days of super restriction or, no sugar, no, crazy stuff. But understand this. There is a gentleman that I follow that I study him in the business world and from a self-development side of things and whatnot. His name is Andy Frisella. Okay, he's a pretty big predominant player in the business world. And he started this challenge called 75 Hard because before I go any more, understand this. I'll link it below, like the podcast where he talks about it. If you guys want to check it out, understand this about 75 Hard. It is not a fitness challenge. This is a self-discipline, mental toughness, and grit challenge. Now, here's the thing though. Within that, he uses parts of fitness to help with your self-discipline. So there are fitness aspects to 75 Hard, but it is by no means a fitness challenge. Because to be totally honest, from the fitness side of 75 Hard, there's aspects of it that aren't optimal for fitness. So here's the thing with 75 Hard. How it works, just kind of a nutshell, is there is a list of 6 things I have to do. Whoever does 75 Hard has to do every single day with 0 compromise, regardless of anything. It doesn't matter if I get sick. It doesn't matter what the weather's like. It doesn't matter how busy I am, anything. And what happens is I have to do this list of 6 things every single day for the next 75 days. That's why it's called 75 Hard. And if I miss a day, if anything on my list of 6 things, these 6 things I'll tell you about here in a minute, if I deviate from any of them in any way, shape, or form, I have to start back over at day 1. Because here's the thing. Well, let me tell you what the 6 things are. So the first thing is, the 6 things are I have to drink a gallon of water every single day. I have to take a progress picture, like me without my shirt, every single day. I have to get 2 workouts in per day, an indoor workout and an outdoor workout for 45 minutes apiece minimum. And then I have to read a minimum of 10 pages in a nonfiction self-development, personal development, leadership kind of book. I think the one I'm in right now is, right now I'm in The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. Schwartz. And then the last thing is I have to follow a diet, any diet that I choose, perfect. No cheat days, no off days, no I slipped up, I'll get back on tomorrow, for the next 75 days. So it has to be perfect. And those are the 6 things I have to do, or anyone who participates in the challenge has to do. Now, why though? Here's the question is why. I'm getting ready to do a podcast that ties this in, but understand, because like I said, this isn't a fitness challenge. it uses aspects of fitness, but there's other aspects that aren't fitness, like the reading and things like that. And no alcohol and different things like that. That was the other thing, is there's no alcohol involved or allowed while on the challenge. But the thing is, the reason I'm doing this is because at the end of the day, discipline equals happiness. Okay, if you think about the times in your life you're the most happy, I would put money on it, you were the most disciplined. And like I said, I'm getting ready to do a big podcast on this. The whole thing of how to be happy and disciplined and keeping promises to yourself is at the top of the list. Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, discipline equals happiness. Because what chips away at self-confidence, mental toughness, and discipline in any other area in our life as a whole is breaking promises we make to ourselves. At the end of the day, it sounds simple, and it is, but it's just because something's simple doesn't mean it's easy. Like how many times have you said, I'm gonna start back tomorrow, and don't? How many times have you said, oh, I'm gonna only have one plate of food and have two? How many times have you said, I'm gonna start making my bed, and don't? And I've noticed other areas in my life, my discipline has started to slip a little. And I've noticed every other area of my life goes less than optimal. Like my happiness gets low, my business may get less, my productivity goes down. But when I'm at my highest level of discipline, everything in my life is up to here. So that's why I wanted to go through 75 hard again. I did it once. Actually, there's several phases. There's 75 hard, then there's phase 1, then there's phase 2 and phase 3. And I got through, when I did it last year, I did 75 hard, phase 1, and then phase 2. And then I can't remember why, but I didn't do phase 3. So what happened is, and I'm telling you, like everything in my life, I've never felt, when I went through it, I'd never felt more bulletproof mentally. I'd never felt more confident before. I'd never felt like literally, I felt like indestructible. You know what I mean? So, and that's the thing, is at the end of the day, this is a game of, in every area, happiness, fulfillment, all this stuff. It's a matter of keeping promises you make to yourself at the end of the day. That's one of the best ways to build self-confidence and discipline in all these areas, but it's one of the quickest ways when you don't do it to chip away at all that stuff. So I'm gonna be going through 75 hard again, just because I felt amazing when I did it. It was hard though. That's the thing, guys, is it's not easy. Because like I said, that list of daily tasks I have to do, that's in addition to my normal daily tasks I do every day. Like, posting on Instagram, making YouTube videos and all sorts of stuff. So, but part of that though is like, there's zero compromise. As in like, when I did this before, there were times it was 11:30 at night and I didn't get my workout in, my second workout in. So I went and walked outside at 11:30 at night. Or it'd be 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night and I'd only have half a gallon of water in. So like at 8, 9 o'clock at night, I would drink like another half gallon of water. There may be times like, I got attention to detail. Like I may have forgot a progress picture and I might be 60 days in and I have to start back over at day 1. It's stuff like that. So it makes all these other areas really go a lot better, as an attention to detail, super intention, and then time management, and then just the fact that like really getting gritty and mentally tough and getting all this stuff from a mentality side taken care of. And at the end of the day, when all that stuff is taken care of, when your grit is better, your mental toughness is better, your confidence is better, your discipline is better than it's ever been, what happens, you're gonna be happier than you've ever been. Because at the end of the day, discipline equals happiness. Like they are directly correlated. We are most happy when we are most disciplined. And so that's what this whole what's called 75 hard is about. So I will be doing it again, but this time, instead of like not telling anybody and just doing it, I'm gonna be documenting it. I'm gonna be letting you guys know how it's going, what's going on. I'm gonna be doing more day-to-day stuff over on my Instagram, like when I'm going on my outdoor walks or when I'm gonna be doing, whatever. So, yeah, so that's kind of what that's gonna look like. Like I said, in the description below, I'll post like the actual URL to the podcast where Andy is talking about 75 hard from his point of view. Because it's absolutely amazing. Because actually, like, get a little bit more technical, because people are like, oh, it's just a fitness challenge. It's like, no, it's not. Because there's a few aspects of 75 hard that are not optimal for fitness challenges, like a body transformation challenge. Like doing 2-a-day workouts, there's no reason any person should do 2-a-days. For like 99.9% of people, 2-a-days are not conducive. But it's from a mentally tough side and a really, like just getting, like I'm gonna be more sore, I'm gonna be more tired. I've got to manage my time better. There's no reason to do 2-a-days for like the vast majority of people. Going all 75 days with my diet being perfect. So for me, the diet, I'm going to be doing the same diet always talk to you guys about. I'll track my calories, track my protein, and keep those on point where my calories and my protein are perfect, things like that. So with that, you know, like not coming out of my diet, not having any refeeds, not having any like, oh, I messed up, I enjoyed time with the family, I'm going to get back on the next day. Like I won't be able to do any of that because every day has to be perfect. So everything will have to be accounted for. So if I go to dinner with the family, I have to make sure those calories are accounted for. I might have to skip, you know, things that are going to throw my calories away on the water and that kind of thing. So it's this kind of stuff that isn't actually that conducive to fitnessy related goals. Like taking a progress picture every day is not needed. You know, it's stuff like that. But that's why this is not a body transformation challenge. This is a happiness, mental toughness, grit challenge, essentially. So there's that. And then going into 2020, I talked about this on a podcast the other day. And I think I've mentioned it in like Instagram, or no, not a podcast, an email of mine that I sent out to my email list the other day. Basically, my focus is going into 2020 that I want you to be aware of. So going into 2020, my focuses are a little bit different than 2019, but there's a few places you're going to want to be, okay? Because some of my goals going into 2020, the 3 places that I'm going to hit hard and really grow and pour into, on top of like, first priority is obviously my coaching clients and my tribe members. Those are the, like, first and foremost, those are my first go-to. Like, those are the emails I answer first. Those are the people I help first. Like my tribe members and one-on-one coaching clients are my top priority, okay? Now, the other places, if you're not a coaching client of mine, the 3 places that you're going to want to be are, number 1, my email list. Because to be honest, when it comes to social media algorithms, like right now, like I have got like, let's say 54,000 or like 57,000 followers on Instagram. If Instagram wanted to shut my account down that quick, there's nothing I could do about it. So, and then changing the algorithms and wanting to make sure you guys are actually staying connected to me and staying, everything, hearing all the updates or anything new coming out, you're gonna wanna be on my email list because Instagram or social medias can't touch that. Like I technically own that versus I don't own my Instagram or own my YouTube. So the first place you're going to want to be is my email list. That way you're not going to miss out on any updates, any new things coming out, any new info from me, any new content. And it should go without saying, but I will never spam the fuck out of you. I will never sell your info. Like I hate it when people do that. That's not even like up for discussion. That's not ever going to happen. But you're going to want to be on my email list. And like I said, all the links to this I'll put in the description to get for all this stuff. The second place you're going to want to be is my podcast. So that's the other thing I'm really pushing in 2020 is my podcast. Bringing on a lot more amazing guests, like guests that I'm, to be honest, even shocked that they agreed to do it because they're rather big individuals in this field. So you're gonna want to be on my podcast because the thing with my podcast, again, like it's not like every other social media, like I own my podcast. So I can talk about whatever I want. I can make it as long as I want. I can go as in depth as anything that I want. So on top of that, but I bring on some of the most amazing people as guests, and I'm able to just really dive in and solve a lot of problems, talk really into detail about things that I can't quite get into to that same capacity on like Instagram. So you're gonna want to be on my podcast. You can find that on literally anywhere podcasts are subscribed to. It's just the Hamilton Train Podcast. And then the last place you're gonna want to be is right here, YouTube. So really pushing YouTube hard as well this year, getting into more vlog-like videos and bigger videos and whatnot. So you're going to want to stay here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, wherever that button is at, you're going to want to hit that, put the chime button. It's going to let you know whenever I have a new video drop. So you're going to want to be here as well. I'm still going to do other stuff on my other socials, like my Instagram, like TikTok, like LinkedIn, like Twitter, like that stuff. But I'm really putting a massive focus on my email list, my YouTube, and my podcast. Those are the 3 big ones. So if you don't subscribe to any of those, be sure and do that like ASAP. I'll put the links, like I said, to all of these in the description of this video. I'll also put my email down there, whereas if you need anything or have questions, because at the end of the day, I'm here to help you. If you have like a specific question that you want answered and you're not sure about, just shoot me an email and I'll be glad to talk to you. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I've got some other pretty cool stuff coming out. Like I've got some brand new courses that I'm going to be dropping. I got some cool stuff from like the client and tribe member side of stuff. So otherwise, guys, thank you so much. I know this is a longer video. We're like almost about 20 minutes in. So yeah, otherwise, I love you. I'll talk to you soon.